God kväll och shalom vänner. Jag är tillbaka från arbete och här är en ny uppdatering. Ett enat Israel gick det att läsa en artikel i Svenska Dagbladet. Nu kliver både fredsvänner och ultraortodoxa judar som är undantagna militärtjänst fram och anmäler sig till Israels armé. Kan ett splittrat israeliskt samhälle enas efter Hamas terrorattack, frågar man. Ja, enligt uppgift så är Israel enat efter det fruktansvärda som har hänt. Och från Libanon, Hezbollah, tyngre missiler vid namn Burkan flyttas mot Israels gräns norrifrån. De kan ha väldigt kraftiga sprängladdningar. Israels försvarsminister Galant vid den norra gränsen. Fakta: Israel skulle kunna utplåna Hamas och Gaza från luften utan att förlora en enda soldat. Och så har vi ett par klipp här. Israeliska araber har mycket mer frihet och möjligheter än araber någon annanstans i Mellanöstern, som här bekräftas av Mohammad Kabia. Om du inte visste detta har du trott på för mycket politisk, islamistisk, nazistisk propaganda. Det är väldigt viktigt att vi har klart för oss att islamistisk propaganda och Hamas, terrororganisationen Hamas och de Hezbollah och de övriga terrororganisationerna har samma ideologi, om man nu får kalla det, som nazismen. Och det har blivit väldigt tydligt den senaste tiden, som vi vet. Ja, så har man gjort undersökningar tidigare i Israel som har visat att araberna där mycket hellre vill bo eller leva i en med judisk regering och judiskt land än arabiskt land. De har det mycket bättre där. Och den absoluta majoriteten säger det. Det vågar man säkert inte säga kanske i alla sammanhang. Men om man får vara anonym så går det lättare att säga sanningen och våga säga sanningen. Vi fortsätter att be för hela situationen och står med Israel. Så jag tackar för mig och önskar Guds välsignelse och shalom.
I am an Arab. I am a Muslim. And I love my country. In fact, I'm prepared to die for it. Which is why I serve in its army. I don't have to do this. I want to do this. Because my country is a special place. Unlike any other. Free, diverse, vibrant. Yet other countries not so free, not so diverse, call for my country's complete destruction. The moment my country lets its guard down, it will be destroyed. My country is Israel. I grew up and still live in a small village named after my family's Bedouin Arab tribe. Our roots in this land run deep. In 1948, when Arab armies invaded the new state of Israel, my family thought of leaving our village. Some of them did. But when the Jewish leaders heard that, they implored us to remain. This is our country. For both Arabs and Jews, they said, stay and we will work together to build it. My family stayed, my parents were born here, made their lives here, started their own family here in Israel. In 2002, I was a teenager. It was a violent time. Palestinian suicide bombers were blowing up Israeli civilians, a danger to Arabs and Jews alike. Israeli troops entered the West Bank to stop them at their source. As a result, many Palestinians were killed. I was torn. Whose side was I on? Israelis or the Palestinians? Is it possible to be an Arab and an Israeli? The question became even more difficult when I saw men from my own village wearing the uniform of the Israeli army. Only Jews are required to serve in the military. No one forced these Arab men to join. They chose it. Why? I asked them. Our home is here in Israel, they said. Our home is under attack. Our neighbors in this home are Jews. They are being attacked. We fight together. Still, I struggled. I went to high school in Nazareth. There, unlike the village where I grew up, most of the Arab students identified as Palestinians even though they are citizens of Israel. Some of the students, my friends, hated Israel. They couldn't understand me. You're a Palestinian, they said, so you must hate Israel. When I said that I didn't, that we had far more freedom and opportunity than Arabs anywhere in the Middle East, they called me a traitor. After high school, I went to study electrical engineering at Knyon, a leading Israeli university. During my first semester, heavy rocket fire from Gaza forced Israel to launch a counterattack. Not long after the war began, I witnessed a group of Arab Israeli students expressing their solidarity with Hamas, the Palestinian terror organization that controls Gaza and is committed to Israelis' violent destruction. Did these students not understand that those rockets could just as easily be aimed at them? Hamas didn't care who they killed as long as they landed inside the borders of Israel. Had my fellow Arab students forgotten that Israel had left Gaza a few years before? That there wasn't a single Israeli living there? That day I dropped out of school to join the Israeli army, the IDF. A few months later, I was a soldier in the Israeli Air Force. After months of training, I was assigned to the Search and Rescue Helicopter Unit. Our job was to save lives. We never concerned ourselves with the identity of the people who needed our help. We rescued Syrian civilians wounded in their country's civil war, Palestinian children from Gaza requiring urgent medical care, and countless Israelis of every religious and ethnic background. A life, whether it is Muslim or Jewish, Palestinian or Israeli, is a life. On a base of 6,000 soldiers, I was the only Bedouin. But it didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was keeping Israel, our home, safe. We came from all parts of the country and from many parts of the world. We were every shade of skin color. Our shared goal created a deep bond. Today, I am a student at Haifa University. Half of the students are Arab. More than once, I have seen the Palestinian flag being waved at rally or protest on campus. In Israel, you can do this, because whether you are a Jew or an Arab, you are free. What more do you need to know? I am Muhammad Kabir.
Better hurry up. Netanyahu saying this could take us months.
Ex-IDF deputy chief said, soldiers won't enter the tunnels. We'll turn them into Hamas traps without going in.
So,
former deputy IDF chief of staff Yair Golan says that under no circumstances should or will IDF soldiers enter Hamas's tunnels as the army broadens its ground operation to destroy Hamas's military capabilities. In an interview with Army Radio, the reserves general says, you don't need to go into the tunnels, and it would be a mistake to enter the tunnels where Hamas is hiding out and waiting. The wisdom is to find the entrances and seal them, or send in smoke that will cause the enemy to come out, says Golan. Under no circumstances do you fight in the tunnels, where there is no chance that you won't get hurt.
Prompted President Joe Biden to call for a pause
you counter the threat
in
of the
the Israel
tunnels,
campaign
he
against
says.
Hamas.
When it is put to him that Hamas is capable of remaining inside its vast underground tunnel network forever, Golan says, take my word for it.
Most people have no
the
idea what a
IDF
pause
has the
means,
capabilities
but a
today
pause,
to deal effectively with the tunnels.
We need to get bandages
It has all the
and
knowledge
food
and the
stuff like that,
means.
But if you know the
who
way it
headed
works there,
south on
the
October
bandages and the
7th
food
and joined
goes to
in
the
the
Hamas
fighting
fighters,
against rampaging
and
across
the
the
Palestinians
Western
nobody cares
Negev,
about them.
elaborated,
And when they die,
the
they're
moment that we
dying
get to
for
the
Allah,
tunnels,
so
or
it's all for
regarding
the
the tunnels
cause.
we've already
And it
reached,
also allows
from the
Hamas to
moment the
regroup, and the
entrances are
Jews are saying,
found,
we're not
the
going to do
full
a pause,
advantage is with
and
the
we're not going to
attacking
do a ceasefire,
forces.
because
Asked
we
whether
need to
the
keep
IDF
pursuing.
would have to
And
enter
by the way,
Shifa Hospital
rockets are
to
still flying
expose
from
and deal with
Gaza
the tunnel
into Israel
entrances there.
today.
Golan said
Hundreds
he
of
did not
rockets
know
are
how
still
the
flying.
fighting would play
And,
out.
the world's saying you need to do a ceasefire.
And he stressed
while
the two
rockets are flying
imperatives
across
of
the
battling
border.
Hamas
It's so
and freeing the
hypocritical.
hostages.
So where does this guy come
Asked
into
whether he would
the
favor
story?
a deal whereby the hostages are freed in return for the Hamas leadership being given safe passage to
where
Iran,
was he?
Syria, or elsewhere. Golan said, if
but this guy stood up and sort of was they called him a heckler, but he's actually saying, as a Jewish rabbi, I'll just show you the video.
If we can get to a situation where the Hamas leaders sail away and our hostages are freed, that would be almost too good to be true. He stressed that nobody knows what is realistic in terms of any such deal. But he adds, are we ready to pay a heavy price for the release of the hostages? The answer is yes. When he is asked about US President Joe Biden's support for a pause in Israel's offensive to enable the release of the hostages, Golan says, anything that enables the speedy release of the hostages would be blessed. But he doesn't think it will be that simple.
What did Biden say?
He notes that Hamas is not the only force holding hostages.
Biden said, I think we do need a
other
pause
groups and clans,
when
he
this
says.
Jessica Rosenberg interrupted.
What Israel can expect in a Gaza metro tunnel fight.
And suddenly the Biden administration and all the military generals like,
both in the streets and as deep as 70 meters underground.
The policy in this,
amid fears of yet another long war in the region, Israel has now begun its ground campaign in Gaza.
You saw the
Israel Defense Forces, IDF, has already claimed several successes in its 3-week campaign, including the elimination of several leaders, including Ibrahim Biari, who it described as a ringleader of the October 7th attacks, and liberating at least one hostage held by Hamas. But Israel's military commanders will know that this is unlikely to be a simple operation. Among the factors complicating their mission of eliminating Hamas is the Gaza Metro, a vast network of interconnected tunnels within the region. Having invested heavily in subterranean infrastructure over the years, Hamas is counting on this network to aid its survival in the coming weeks. Underground engineering has a long history in warfare. From antiquity to Vietnam, a range of groups have used tunnels to gain an advantage. Not only can they provide concealment and freedom of movement, but they also present a range of challenges for the attacking force. They can be hardened against any attacks from the surface. Storming underground networks can also be prohibitively difficult for an attacker, given the limited space available. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. For instance, the threat posed by Western air power caused Islamic State, IS, to construct a large network of tunnels. These tunnels made surveillance and airstrikes difficult and were riddled with traps, making capture by ground forces dangerous and difficult. These benefits only really work if the tunnels are defended, of course, which wasn't always the case. For instance, in the 2015 battle for Sinjar, the majority of its fighters were long gone by the time Kurdish land forces arrived to liberate the city. Hamas's tunnel network presents a unique problem for the IDF. While the tunnels vary in quality, many are well equipped and hardened, and deep enough to evade detection by ground-penetrating radar. Unsurprisingly, key Hamas allies, including Iran, are boasting about the Gaza metro. The network provides the group with a haven and a means to move around the region unobserved. It places leadership and organizational infrastructure out of reach from air attacks. The system is laden with supplies as well as weapons and fuel. Defended, booby-trapped and likely to be populated with human shields and hostages as well as fighters, they will be challenging for even a well-equipped and capable attacking force. Yet, if not addressed, Hamas may continue to operate irrespective of what happens on the surface. Indeed, as many of the tunnels lead across the border, there is a risk of further incursions, rocket strikes and attacks on IDF forces. And given the heavily urbanized nature of Gaza, much of the network is beneath civilian infrastructure, which further complicates Israeli operations. Hamas is a proficient and prolific user of tunnels, but in honing its expertise, the group has also provided Israeli forces with a decades-long crash course in how to deal with their underground operations. In addition to their own experience with Hamas tunnels, the IDF can also draw upon lessons from the US experiences with drug cartels burrowing on their southern border with Mexico. While Hamas is counting on its tunnels to cause problems, Israel already has a range of solutions. It has already gained valuable experience in underground operations, having learned hard lessons from the past. A range of innovative purpose-built technologies and strategies can be used to provide the IDF with a technological edge. Some are simple, such as flooding tunnels with sewage, whereas others are more complex, involving specialized engineering.
And so
some solutions, such as ground-penetrating explosives, might be difficult to use, given the presence of civilians. Israel
And the
has known
answer
about
is yes.
the
And
tunnels
this
for a
is
long
where
time and is
Americans
taking
are
them
confused.
seriously.
Well, Hamas obviously doesn't care
Recent
about the
operations
Palestinians, but
suggest that
why
the
do the
time spent
Palestinians
training
stay?
for this exact
Like I
scenario
said,
is going
sometimes
to
people
pay
say
off,
maybe the Hamas
at
makes
least
them
to a
stay
certain
and just be
extent.
bombed because
But dealing with a
bloody
network of
Palestinians
more than
makes for good
300
TV for
miles is
Hamas's
still
cause.
going to represent a
Some people
massive
make that
challenge,
argument.
and storming
Others
or blocking
say,
off
no,
every
bunch
part
of
of
those
the
Palestinians,
system
they're
is
all
probably
about Hamas
impossible.
and killing Jews. And I think both are
Ultimately,
probably
Israel
true,
has
but
no
I know for
perfect
sure
solution to the
that
complex
many,
problem
80% of
posed
the
by the
Palestinians
Hamas
are way
underground
pro-Hamas.
network.
You want to know how we
But
remember
years
this?
of
There's so
dealing
many
with the
reasons,
Hamas
but remember
metro
the
means the
girl,
IDF is not
Shani
entirely
Luke?
unequipped to confront the challenge.
Maybe you
It
remember.
seems inevitable that the next days and
that
weeks will
morning
be a
when they
bitter
took the
struggle,
hostages,
both in the streets of Gaza and as
Hamas
deep as
paraded
70
one of their
meters below
GoPro
ground.
videos showed the naked body of this 20-year-old girl.
This is the end of our
with
program
broken
today.
legs
See
and her
you